Yeah, let me address the issue of Southern Sudan. When Southern Sudan says it is ready for December 2026 elections, we have to understand ready. Ready will depend on the measure. Is it administrative? Is it partial? Is it political? Is it structural? Is it institutional? If so, then I would argue perhaps that it's not yet. Why? Because of the following reasons. For starters, the National Elections Commission obviously has actually opened offices in most of these states as a roadmap in terms of voter registration and even civic education. But in post-conflict states, elections are not technical exercises. They are stress tests of statehood. The question is, can political competition happen peacefully? Can a society with trust deficits, fragmented authority, and weak institutional setups accept results? Southern Sudan's unresolved peace pillars remain decisive. Security sector reforms, united forces, constitutional finalization, and even the concept of transitional justice. And on the ground, we have to understand there is a weak administrative capacity, physical space in terms of displacing some of these challenges. So the most sensitive variable is security, because that informs all the rest. When trust is missing, elections risk becoming a contestation in terms of legitimacy. So that becomes a very, very big challenge for the issue of elections in Southern Sudan. In as far as the Uganda relationship is concerned, Uganda has strategic interest in terms of number one, being a neighbor, but also in terms of political security and even economic partnership. So there are substantive trade flows, for example, and therefore questions of border security, refugee movements, and even regional integration become an issue. The question of the Eligu Nimule corridor is a lifeline, and that becomes a question of importance as well. Southern Sudan, obviously, is a major export market for Ugandan goods. So food commodities, cement, pharmaceuticals, construction materials, and any instability will disrupt this trade and to raise costs perhaps and even shake the confidence. So for Uganda, the question is not whether elections do happen. The question is, do they happen in a way that preserves stability, trade, and even regional security? So those are very, very important aspects as far as the issue is concerned. But on a regional tier level, in terms of an analysis, if you look at it in terms of IGAD, for example, or the African Union and the East African Community, they will prioritize one thing above all: preventing renewed conflict. So because in East Africa, elections are fragile states are never isolated in as far as those issues are concerned. So there are regional security moments with domestic origins, and these are things that we have to be mindful of as well in terms of the issue of the upcoming election in Southern Sudan. But fundamentally, as a taking away point, it would be that Southern Sudan is not lacking elections. It is lacking foundations that make elections meaningful, fundamentally important. So the real question is not whether Southern Sudan does vote, it's whether it accepts the outcome. And that is fundamental. So for the sake of Uganda, Southern Sudan is a broader reality and a trade lifeline. Instability in Juba immediately transmits into Kampala. So we have to be careful. So we are not watching a vote, we are watching a stress test of the entire religion. That's something very, very important. For a takeaway, if Southern Sudan does get a cough, then, or does sneeze, for example, Kampala then is likely to get the cough. So Southern Sudan is not lacking, it's lacking foundations to make this election meaningful. In post-conflict states, elections are stress tests of state stability. So the real question is whether Southern Sudan votes, but whether it accepts the outcome. And also for Uganda, Southern Sudan is a broader reality in terms of that lifeline trade. Instability in Juba will transmit to Uganda through disrupted issues and border instabilities. So we are not watching something that is ordinary. We are watching something that is major in terms of the political dispensation of these two countries. I thank you so much.